Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. You're joining me, Anton, for your highlights review show. We will go live to the London Stadium shortly when everyone comes out there and get the opinion of Russ, etc., etc. But you've just witnessed the game, and do you know what? I thought the second half in particular, I thought West Ham really did give a better, much better account of ourselves more in this the second half. The whole game, 68% possession to Man City to West Ham's 32. I suppose if we look at the, there's not a huge difference in terms of percentage from game to game, but we didn't create any real opportunities in the first half. We had 2 shots, none on target, but in the second, we had 8 shots. So you could see the difference in how West Ham went for the game and tried to take it to them. But at the end of the day, we're coming up against unbelievable talent, and not just like the full team, but in particular their striker, Erling Haaland, back-to-back hat-tricks. What was the thing they were showing last year? Since it's taken on 64 games to score now 8 hat-tricks, where other players are doing it in like 400 appearances. I mean, the guy is like a robot mode. A robot mode. Listen, game of 2 halves. I thought West Ham's intensity in the first 3-4 minutes was phenomenal, and it really set Man City back. And they didn't know, oh God, are West Ham going to continue this? But what they did was they were patient and they held on to the ball, and it really nullified and killed West Ham's game in the first half. So we pushed that to the side. How did we come out in the second half? We came out a bit like how we started the first half. We held the ball, we held possession, we played passes, we got players involved, and something we didn't do in the first half, which is what we did in the second half, was we got Bowen and Kudus involved. And that was the key, and that's what we need to be doing moving forward. And if you can do that against Man City, then so be it. And I'm proud of that performance. I am. Not the first half, but the second half. And the second half accounts for itself. Remember, we are coming up against the opposition that we are coming up against. That's always going to make the big difference. Let me know how you came across onto this show. Did it work to what we said? Did the show come up and did you have to click on it? Please let me know in the chat. But I feel like we gave a reasonable account of ourselves in the end. Individual errors really cost us in this game. Paqueta not had his best game in a West Ham shirt due to the fact that he did some of his old tricks he did last year that was frustrating West Ham fans, which was just giving the ball away in really dangerous areas. You want Paqueta to do that, but only in the opposition half, not in your own half. And that was my biggest concern. And he did that, and that led to one of their goals. And then Konstantinos Mavropanos. I mean, I feel like Todibo is working his way now in for this team. I actually think Mavropanos had a good second half as a whole, but I don't know what it was, but I think his mindset just lost the plot, and he got a little bit confident, a little bit cocky, and I think he thought, oh yeah, I can get to that ball. I'm going to run out of position, and I'm going to try and get in front of their midfielder. You're playing the best team on paper in the world. 2 seconds here. Why this is not closing. You're playing the best team on paper in the world, and that's what they're doing. They're inviting you to come in and step in and try and get that ball off of them. And Mavropanos fell for it like a hook, line, and sinker. And that is, I'm not passing the blame solely on him. I'm severely concerned that that's what we will have in terms of options. And I think that's where Todibo does step in into the team. Like I said, I thought Mavropanos had a good second half. He had 4 clearances, 1 block shot. He didn't win any of his ground duels. He won one of his aerial duels, which he only had 1 attempt at. He was 90% accurate passes. I did notice his passing was a lot better in this game in comparison to the games he has played before. He didn't panic as much, but what happened was by not panicking in his passing, it meant that he jumped out and went wild forward, and then Haaland just got in behind Keelman. Keelman was left on his own, and the game was a bogey at that point, unfortunately. No points, but plenty of positives. Yeah, there was. Yeah, we lost 3-1, but we played well in the second half. We've gotten City out of the way while his team is still gelling, so we'll batter them in Etihad. Not disappointed, happy with the football. I get that point to a certain extent. I want West Ham to win, but you're playing Haaland, aren't you? Very decent striker like Duran, we could have won. Some great passing going on in the second half. Never had I seen City so close to their own goal. We were playing well, just City had the team. Only need one chance. And that is exactly what they need. They only need one chance. And that's what they took. And they took, it's not just one chance, they took their chances, didn't they? They absolutely took chances. Let's sort this out. Where are we here? And that's exactly what they did. Let me just see if I can get the passing stats. I mean, you're going to struggle against a team when they have 716 passes, and we as West Ham have 326. They nearly doubled our passing rate in the game completely. However, if you want progression, then our stats of passing would have been a lot better than what they would have been last year. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. If we had a square hole, you'd be shitting bricks. I like Somerville a lot, but AWB is ridiculous. What a signing. I thought he had a fantastic game in the West Ham shirt. He really has proven to be a great, great buy. Again, had to switch positions. Again, was a standout defender alongside Max Kilman. Just really, really impressed with them. I think he is. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has just been a really, really good and refreshing signing. I think it was Emerson's pass that caused the problem. It was Emerson and Paqueta, but it was Paqueta just couldn't hold on to it well. Poor team with poor performance against Man City, always defeated by Man City, almost to quit with the nonsense. Wow. Good second half, unlucky not to score again. City will go on to win the title for the upteenth time. I don't mind that from Mav in 80th minute chasing a goal. Not all game, but at this stage you have to be brave. I don't know. Tobes, mate. I don't know. As a centre half, to be so calm and collected the whole game, which he was, apart from the first half, not many people can write home about the first half, but to be so calm and collected the whole game in terms of, especially in the second half, and then to go step out of position dramatically like that, it's becoming reasonably regular. Why he not play striker? I don't rate this manager. Is it just me, or has the ref a bit biased against West Ham? I don't know. It wasn't that bad today, to be honest. Ruben, we need a high energy striker. There's a reason Antonio has been good for us. I agree. Duran would have been a great signing. Shame. Oh well. Rapanos says a mistake in him and not tactically disciplined. AWB was insanely magical today. That's why we chased him through the haze of Man United's bollocks. He was good today, and he was in the FA Cup final. Realistically, we don't play Man City every week, so not going to overanalyze parts of that game we had, and we composed finishing. Who knows? Agree with you 100%. Loads of positives. Paqueta was the only real annoyance for me. Kept giving the ball away, even without including the goal. He needs to be dropped. Gary says we need to get our attacks on target. Listen, this team is still gelling. There's still promise there. There's still excitement there. And I think that we've now had 3 real games to gel. We've seen what the players bring in. Alvarez is coming back to fitness. Hopefully we can get Emerson back to fitness. We've got a little while now to get Todibo up to scratch. I think Todibo walks into this team with Max Kilman, and now we want to see that partnership build something. You want Emerson out on the left and Aaron Wan-Bissaka out on the right. Edson Alvarez, good to see him back. But had a good second half until he was pulled off. And obviously we'll have Carlos Soler up there as well. Pac, yeah, it wasn't his best game. So true. He did play well, especially in the other one. Another day we scored 3 goals. To Kudus, but could have squared it. It was overall decent performance. Absolutely. Yeah, but it is City. They will outpace everyone. I don't think Paqueta was the problem. I think our strikers aren't good enough. But as I said, Kudus needs to play in the middle of the park. Because do you know what? That really is what it comes down to. You need to really get Kudus involved. You need to get Kudus and Bowen heavily involved in this game, in all the games moving forward. You can't have one of your best players, the quality that he's got, sitting on the wing and doing absolutely nothing. You need to bring him in. And the minute you bring him in and get him involved is the minute that the game changes. We have progressed. When Moyes was here, we got mullered by them every game. Well, West Ham have been Haalanded, and that's the problem. You've got world-class striker. I mean, the guy's a universal striker. Unbelievable. Glad there is a 2-week break. Emerson hit the pass. We may have lost, but what a game. Kudus, what a player. He really is. He really is. 3 players that affected the game negatively were Mavropanos, Paqueta, and Antonio. Probably agree with that, to be honest. Pac-Man was poor the first half, but much better second half. He just needs to, like, I don't know why he thinks that he can do those passes in deep line areas, because if you give that ball away there, especially against a team like Man City, they will punish you, and that's exactly what they did. And you saw that. You saw the punishment. I just can't get my head around how good Haaland is. The machine in front of goal. So unlucky for Crown not to score at the death. Only world-class save kept it out. It did, absolutely. Would start Kudus in the middle and Somerville out wide. Just have a look here. Let's see here. How many going off on the international break? I don't know how many there is. It's Reckless or Brave. If he wins the ball, we're in a great position. Glass half full. I know what you're saying, mate. I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you, am I? Mav only messed up because he did not want to follow through on the tackle. Technically, we need to have players support players running with the ball. Peter says, wish we had gone for Pedro when we had a chance before Brighton got him. Two holding players not really quick enough, so slow work to be done in the partnership. I think Soler comes in for Rodgers or Alvarez. Not against City, but against most other teams. Agree, Anton. I'm excited about this squad moving forward, and I think I am. That's what I've taken from this. I think I am quite excited about it. Problem is when you play City, they force you wide players back to drop back. It's not just against us. This happens. It does. Kilman. Shit hot has sliding block in the distribution for Bowen. Could have easily levelled it. 23 shots to Man City to West Ham's 10. 8 on target for Man City to West Ham's 2. Yeah, they were. We are desperate for Duran. That's my only downside. Paqueta was talented, but so lazy. Pac is a luxury. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, great, but not to admit positive performance. Still don't understand why Kudus is on the left when we bought 2 left wingers. Hopefully after break we see the proper 11 playing. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a unit. If Moyes is still here, he'd have converted him into a striker. David has said, let's be truthful, Loppe could have started with 2 Grizzly Bears at the back. Haaland is indestructible one-man wrecking machine, and yeah, he is. That's really the difference today. And honestly, when you look at the last 2 games that Man City have played, but in particular this game, I know they are world class. I know everything they do is world class. Everything that they touch is world class. But you can't help but think to yourself, my God, if they didn't have Haaland up front, where would they get the goals from? You can't help but think that, because he is that level. He is that good. He's that dangerous when he's in that position. And that's the problem. We allowed him 3 times, 2 in particular, but 3 times to get in that position to get through on our defense and go 1-on-1 with the keeper. I think all 3, correct me if I'm wrong, were all 2 of the 3 were all 1-on-1s with the keeper, and we were never going to get anywhere near him. Never. So keep your comments coming in. Let me know your thoughts. Where are we? Incredible what? Got a lot to build off over the next 2 weeks. Very happy with that. Then Sola comes in for Paqueta. Aaron Wan-Bissaka superb going forward today. I do agree. Wan-Bissaka is definitely he's definitely up there as one of the best signings we had for many a year. And I take everything back in terms of him going forward. He's classic going forward as well as defensively. Really impressed with him. You could call it a little bit like a game of 2 halves in terms of West Ham's style of the way we've played as well. Let me bring DJ Russie B into the house. Mr. Russie.
How you doing, Geezer? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. Russ, game of 2 halves.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say. I think it's good that we come out feeling a bit disappointed, a bit deflated, considering we were playing, arguably, one of the best sides in the world as well.
And the best striker in the world.
Well, they probably had 5 decent attempts all game and score with 3 of them. And 2 of them were out of nothing, really. Just shows you what a difference he makes, and why that's why he's got all the goal scoring records. That's why he scored 2 hat-tricks in succession in the Premier League already. He scored lots of goals already in the Premier League, and we've only played 3. and played 3 match days. But yeah, we gave it a go. The frustrating thing was, again, the position where we were at, there was a couple of times where a striker would have been in a better position than Antonio would have been, taking the second half when that ball came across for Bowen. But again, just shows how much of a threat Kudus is. He had them ragged. And afterwards, you saw Pep literally sort of almost run over to Kudus and put his arm around him, because he was a constant thorn in the side of Man City for the whole game. But yeah, disappointed.
Yeah,
disappointed.
Yeah, he's ran over to him because he's like, "How the hell did my scouts not find you?"
Exactly.
He is, and I think that's the big difference, isn't it, Russ? You need to get Kudus and Bowen on the ball. The minute you get them on the ball, the minute we have a threat, the minute we start changing, we start changing the whole dynamics of our gameplay. And I think that was the big difference in the first half. Russ, the first 3 minutes of the game, the intensity was amazing. You thought, what's going on here? Who is this? What West Ham team is this? This is quality. But we all knew we would never be able to keep that up. Right? We all knew that. And right enough, as like perfect timing, they just kept us at bay and dealt with what they had to do with in the first half. But we came out well in the second half. We shut up shop, and we held possession much differently. And just really a couple of individual errors. 2 individual errors cost us 2 goals today.
Yeah, and I think it's a testimony as well. With about when they went 2-1 up, we've still, I don't know, half the second half still to go. They took off Doku and brought on Gundogan. So they shut up shop. They took off all the players and they were bringing on Nunes, Gundogan. They were bringing on to shut up shop. So they saw the second goal. They saw the threat of West Ham as well. You could see what Guardiola was doing. He kept on, whoever was coming on the bench, he kept on pointing at Kudus and was like, get him out of the fucking game. That's what they were trying to do. But he was. I thought Kudus again was immense, and it was. Again, yeah, as you said, defensive error. I mean, that's the third goal. Mavropanos just didn't get the toe end on that ball, and then he's out of position. Next week against Chelsea, he might have got the ball. So it's just so unfortunate.
No, I know. I just think my concern really is that the growing mistakes, that they are growing, and I think. Listen, as a central defender, and listen, we're up against Manchester City, but I'm seeing them a little bit too regular. And do you know what? I thought Mavropanos actually had a really good second half. His passes were a million times better today. He was convicted. He made convicted passes, like he made their destinations. Russ, I think I'm going to have to go. Are you all right to finish this off?
Yeah. I can't see the chat, but I'll carry on.
Right.
There we go. That's it. No need for subtitles. I can't see the chat, so I'm really sorry because I'm from a different browser, so I don't jump in. Actually, let me see it. Give me 2 secs. I'm going to jump out of this and jump into my other browser, and then I can see the chat while we have a quick 2 seconds, Pete.
Russ, can you hear me? Russ, I can be in the background and put the comments up for you if you want.
Nah, but give me 2 seconds.
There's loads of people here. There he is. He's there. Give him 2 minutes to come back on, and we'll have a chin wag with you. Before Russ comes back on, I want to just address Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's been a signing and a half for West Ham, hasn't he? A signing and a half, and I've been so impressed with him. I think he's been brilliant. But again, at the end of the day, the difference really for West Ham is.
There we go. I'm back. Go on. You can.
Right, there he is. Right, on you go. Right, bye.
What the fuck did we bring Bowen off? Do you know what? I give J-Lo credit. He does make not necessarily not the obvious, but I mean, to be honest, towards the end, Bowen was getting a bit tired, so I could see why they brought him on. I could see why Alvarez came off because he's only really just got back from injury as well. I mean, Glenn makes a great point. Yeah, I mean, literally, I think that was the difference. I really thought that was the complete difference, was the fact that they had Haaland and we had Antonio. That was it, really. I thought, De Bruyne had a good shot, but unfortunately, fortunately, obviously Areola got the save. But then so did we hit the, Kudus hit the post in that lovely move with Bowen, lovely breakaway move. Bowen just delivering slightly too heavy a ball, but Kudus still managed to get a shot away and hit the crossbar. That was literally the difference, in my opinion. Just shows you when you've got, not even a 20-goal striker, it's a 30-goal striker. Just really how dangerous City can be. And that's one problem with maybe Arsenal. They haven't got that striker to, really compete with Erling Haaland in terms of going on to the next level. And that's why City are City. They've got the best striker in the world playing for them. And Bar, he had a bit of a rough shot. Was it a header in the first 10 minutes? I think he should have scored. But everything he hit pretty much went in. And that was the main difference, in my opinion. Yes, Trini. In fact, I think actually for once our performances improved when we brought subs on. Usually we bring on like for like. But we brought we tried things differently. We tried something. We tried to put. I think we took Bowen off because Kudus was basically having an incredible game as always. I think Bowen was a bit leggy towards the end. He was doing a lot of tracking back, and give Kudus a run out on the right hand side. And put Somerville on. I thought that was. I'm surprised he didn't take Paqueta off. I thought he might have taken Paqueta off instead of Bowen, just to keep that attack. Because one thing that we do have in terms of our forward play is quick players. And we've got whereas the Kudus had a foot race with Doku and beat into a foot race. We do have players who can, with pace, we just need to utilise them better. And someone like Soler coming in, the ability to pin those balls over, pin those balls round, pin those balls, to the wings, doing more what we were doing in the second half. I think we're going to be fine. Wish we had Duran. He would have been. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, innit? As I said, it takes two. It takes two to transfer. I don't think Villa we're going to play ball unless they brought another striker in, which they weren't going to. There's no one wanted to come to them. They were looking at Nicholas Jackson at the last days, try and get something in to try and move on. But I always thought they committed to Duran pretty much since the beginning of the season. They gave the number 9 shirt. So, look, we can look. Hindsight's a great thing, and I think looking back, maybe that's one that we lost out on, but. There's no point crying over spilt milk now. We've got what we've got now. And now we have to move forward and see. We've got the international break now, a couple of weeks. Embed people like Soler, embed people more like Falk, like Somerville into the West Ham way and see what happens. We've got some good games coming. We've got Chelsea here. I'm looking forward to that. We've got Ipswich here as well coming up. Obviously, we've got Carroll Cups and things like that. So there's loads of opportunities. He was unlucky, even though he lost far more positive than the other 3 guys. Great shout, Douglas, actually. Great shout, to be honest. We've come away. I've come out of the game and I feel like I feel really deflated, like we should have won. We should have got something out of the game. And we're basically playing, arguably the greatest team in the world at the moment. And we're deflated that we haven't picked something up. Shows what a good performance we did have. There's a few defensive errors, a few slip-ups, but same with City as well, don't forget, Ruben scored an own goal, and Kudus should have scored at the end. Somerville could have scored as well. It wasn't, we've come out of games before, under previous regimes, having lost 3-1, and we'd all rant and rave. But there was enough encouragement. It's to give it an Oasis themed analogy. Little by little, you can see the cogs are starting to turn a little bit. And indeed, I think the final piece of the puzzle is going to be Carlos Soler coming in, because that's what we really need. Rodriguez is not that. He's not a Carlos Soler. He is a good player. He plays the ball well. Has time. Doesn't really lose a lot of ball. finds men with his passing, but someone with a little bit of creativity in that position alongside Alvarez. I think you've got a hell of a player, and I think we've got a hell of a good time to come. Indeed he do. Kudus could have squared it. Yeah, indeed. Still can't work out. It's his strengths, isn't it? The man is so strong physically, so strong. I just don't understand how he can't. You know, they were doubling up on him. Man City were doubling up on Kudus. That's how much of a threat they saw at the end of him. So, you know, for me, that's the greatest compliment you can have. You know, if you're not winning the game, the fact is, you know, he's seen it as a threat and doubles up on him. Barely begun, and we played two. So, totally right. And as I said, you know, next two home games here are Chelsea and Ipswich. I think you're looking at 6 points for those two games, to be honest. I think any team would have lost against Man City today in the Premier League. I think they would. And for me, that's not too much of a. I'm not going to be, you know, frustrated. Yeah, I'm frustrated we didn't get a point. You know, we could have got a point easily, I think, today. But if we weren't for Erling Haaland, and that is literally the difference maker, and that's why they bought him for that exact reason. Fair play. Cullum's good idea. Soufel's full sub, yes. Yeah, I think Emerson, he'd got a second year, he got a yellow, and he was getting a bit tasty. So actually, a good, you know, good game management there by Lopetegui in terms of taking off Emerson, bringing on Soufal, and putting Wan-Bissaka to the left-hand side. It's great that we've got someone like that in order to be able to do that. That's what I like. The fact is, we've got options. We can move people around. We can put this. And again, I don't think there was a drop in performance having done that. So, yeah, all good for that. Yeah, I agree. It will take time. And I think Kilman is a test to me to show. Again, I thought we had a good game today. Again, I thought, you know, I didn't. Again, you know, we're splitting hairs. You know, as a Mavropanos, if he'd got that ball at that toe end, then we wouldn't have conceded the third goal. You know, it's all minute details, isn't it? And you know, if you're a side like City, you tend to get the rub of the green. In it, you tend to get the rub of the green, in all honesty. Emerson was a yellow indeed. Exactly, Framer. I did actually look at my bench a little bit and thought, doesn't look as strong as it did previously. You know, with the likes of JWP, Cornet gone, you know, Zuma, Agad, a little bit thin on quality than maybe we had. But then again, for me, that makes, you know, that's the whole point of what we're trying to do, trying to build a squad. You know, when you brought on the likes of Somerville, you brought on, you know, Czech Republic captain in Thomas Souček, you brought on a German international striker, Nicholas Fulker, you brought on Soufal as well, and you've still got others on the bench coming and make an impact. Luis Guilherme was obviously in the bench today because obviously with Cornet gone, he can take up that spot as well in the squad. Ollie Skulls wasn't in the squad today, but he was in the original squad, you know, sort of the match day squad, not the final squad. There's a lot of positives to take out, indeed. And I think David really sort of finishes it up nicely. You know, we played the best team in the world, didn't we, really? And to be honest, I won't say we matched them, because we didn't match them, but because we lost. But it wasn't. We've played, again, I'm talking about previous regimes, where we offered very little in terms of attacking threat and still lost the game. We lost the game and we had a go. And that's what we want as West Ham fans, really, don't we? We want to have a go at these things. We don't want to roll over. You know, we played a double pivot and it almost worked. Played better today than we won against Palace. Indeed, positives and refreshing. Playing Atelier is like playing with 10 men, indeed. Yeah, it does. He does. Yeah, several times we were in decent positions with balls across, and someone with more of a striker's instinct, you know, someone who is an out-and-out striker, could have put one of those shots away. That's for sure. To be fair, it's the first time that I'm not fuming when we lost. Lovely. Didn't have a good game. In and out of the game. I think obviously with the whole thing with Lucas and Man City and things like that, he was trying to do everything, wasn't he? I think, and to be fair, and again, we call Pete. I thought sometimes Bowen held onto the ball a little bit too much today as well. He had Wan-Bissaka outside him on a few occasions, and he tried to cut the ball in. But Lucas was trying to make it his show, wasn't it? And you can expect that. City have a flash of knickers at him, and he was always going to try and impress. I thought, if anything, Kudus impressed far better. How strong is? They'd have been so strong. Positive game from us, indeed. Love how all of us are so negative, and everyone at Sky is saying we played well. We did. We did play all right. End of the day, in 10 years' time, what we're going to see as a result, we lost the game. So, but we did play. We did play well at times. We gave them a run for the money. We scared them. We made them take off the likes of Doku, take off their attacking players, bring on their defensive players like Gundogan, like Nunez, to tighten up that midfield. That's a compliment. That's a real compliment to us. Shouldn't fear any team. I agree. Towards the end, I was looking at the side, particularly when they started taking Doku and stuff. Looking at the side, Nunez, Kovacic. I'm thinking, this is, we could have a go here. I was thinking about Spurs, thinking about Chelsea, thinking about Arsenal coming here. And I don't think we should fear anyone here. I think everyone's beatable. And I think the fact is, we had City in the ropes. They were winning on points after the first few rounds. We had them on the ropes for a couple of rounds, that's for sure. And then they came back at the end for the knockout blow. But for a while, we had them on the ropes. Now it's about doing that for longer periods. And as someone said, it's about the lesser teams. When Chelsea come here, we should be taking it to Chelsea and tearing them a new one. When Ipswich come here, we should be doing that as well. The next couple of home games, we should be getting 6 points, or at least 4 points, definitely. Durant, but he's a Villa player, Peter, so we got to move on. That's the trouble with West Ham fans. We stick on a thing. He's an Aston Villa player. They gave him the number 9 shirt. Do you really think they gave him the number 9 shirt before the transfer window had closed, that he was going to come to us? No. King. It was all. What someone put on one of Nick's things. King of wishful thinking, and it was. I think we would have loved. And that's, don't forget, we were linked with 200 players over the transfer window. Ferdy Kadaguru, who's gone to Brighton. That's when I think we missed out on left back. But it's done now. What we got? I've got a bit of go to mix. I'm going to be in the Ad Salem much more. Pac-Man disappointed first goal. Why not bring on Scar? He didn't play. He was in the squad. That's why it was in the matchday squad. I don't think. Yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, we've got Kudus for this season, haven't we? Then he's £85 million, and unless he gets done for betting or his injury, touch really good. He's likely to be off this year, and maybe would go to someone like Man City. Maybe they move. Every year, 18 months, Pep does a bit of a change up, doesn't he? Maybe someone like Bernardo goes back to Portugal, and he brings in, and he has Kudus on the right and Doku on the left, or vice versa. Scary prospect, but that's what's just going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to go in a minute. It's exactly why. I think Antonio showed more pace than Falk. Well, he's quicker. Antonio is quicker than the Falk. However, the Falk has better movement. He's an out and out striker, and you can see that. Yeah, totally agree. What a player. Love Bowen to bits, but I don't think he's showing his cap. Yeah, I get what you mean by that. It's a bit like when Declan Rice first became captain. He tried to do everything himself, and I think he's almost overplaying it the last couple of, particularly I saw today, a couple of times he overplayed it, took it a little bit further than he should have done. Now, I said, if we slag off Thomas Souček, if Bowen has a poor game, he has a poor game. Yes, he was a constant threat. Could have done better with that pass to Kudus. Could have gotten in a better position. But I think he a couple of times he overran it, where the option, the safer option, and the easy option maybe was taking Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side. But look, we're splitting hairs. We've got a couple of weeks off now. International break. We can bed in the likes of Falk more. We can bed in the likes of Carlos more. And I think by the time we get back from the transfer window, the international break, you'll see a much more cohesive side. I mean, big steps today. Sufal dropped on the starting line. Suchek dropped on the starting lineup. Both very much, brought on the super subs. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Suchek being brought on the super sub. Got a nice cheer and offer something different. So, look, we'll wait and see what happens. For me, plays one position. Ian, I've always said that. I'd prefer a defender or a CDM. But Bowen's been given the option, given the armband. I support him fully. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We'll be back probably on Monday to the ratings as well. And then we've got a couple of weeks of internationals. We'll have the Academy show on Monday night as well, talking about the 18s, the 21s who won last night. 3 wins in 3 in the PL2, top of the league. Some good performances. We'll go through it in a bit more detail. And obviously, a number of players out on loan as well. We'll give you all the latest stuff about that. Don't forget to give us a like as well. And next couple of weeks, we might have a guest or two come on for a chat. Maybe. Till next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my bloody friends, and come on, you bloody irons. Much love. Irons.